Hello and welcome to Delegation of Dreamers. Today we have Korg. Can't quite tell what you are.
If you ask me what I am, it might be a different answer every day, depending on the mood, that is.
What's up with the gimp suit?
Personally, if you'd like to find out, you would have to talk to me a little more privately. I'm not about the public affairs, personally.
Not loaning you any more money, Rue.
Looks like a pile of leather. Can you even breathe in there?
I can breathe through my mouth. People call me a mouth breather, and I don't really appreciate it, but it is what it is.
Okay, so first things first, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Your possible race, occupation, what you like to do for fun? And trust me, we'll get to the gimp suit later.
Well, hello there. My name is Korg. That's what I call myself. Technically speaking, I'm a dwarf, but you wouldn't know that from looking at me. As my occupation, I'm sort of an arena fighter, a gladiator, if you will. I punch things really good, and they go down.
Alright, Rue, we've got a bit of a character here. You go ahead and pound him with a question or two about that gimp suit.
Hey, firstly, why are you wearing this gimp suit right now?
It's called a curse. And how dare you is quite offensive when you ask about a person's personal being.
Your clothing is a curse.
Yes.
In what way?
I literally cannot take it off, and my family doesn't not recognize me anymore.
How did that come to be?
Well, it all started long, long ago, when I came out of the womb.
Not mommies and daddies, not mommies and daddies. How did you end up being cursed?
Okay, so, born into slavery, wanted to get out. Miss Shaman lady, I don't remember her name. I think it was like, Giant names are weird. But she decided to lend a hand and gave me the opportunity to escape. That is by giving me this cursed suit of leather shit scraps, really. Unfortunately, the only way out is, hey, you can't just walk by the frost giants that know who you are without an accident, an incident, or perhaps even a body count. So, Miss Nice Shaman Lady of the giant variety ended up cursing it to where no one could recognize me if they knew me before. Therefore, the frost giants no longer knew me, my family no longer knew me, and now I can no longer take it off because it's literally bound to my being. And quite honestly, I'm kind of accustomed to it. You'd be surprised how comfortable it is, despite the chafing on me balls.
I expect there's a lot of chafing elsewhere as well.
Oh, absolutely. You want to feel it?
Maybe later. I'm gonna have to pay extra for that.
It's gonna need a lot of prestidigitation spells before I touch down.
A lot of
I take
ointment.
offense to that.
I mean, it's a good thing you're in the realm of dreams and memories, then, because this is all part of your imagination.
My imagination would have a lot more sex dungeons in this.
Don't think we're gonna get that one through these guys.
Could you tell us a little bit about the frost giants?
Oh, they're fucking assholes.
Why is that?
Well, let's see. Did I mention slavery and being, my entire bloodline being forced into it after they came and ransacked our homes, our minds, our entire livelihood and stole it away from us? And they claimed it as their own, including my clan as their own property along with our property. They abused my family. Anytime anyone messed up in the mines, they would end up throwing them over the side as they were not fit to be a part of the team. They put it as a team, but I don't really think we were much of a team in their eyes, more so an asset.
That does sound a bit dickish.
Yeah, it's a little messed up. We were barely fed. We were forced to sleep on a concrete dungeon floor with no blankets, and no pillows. The only thing we had to sleep upon with comfort was a little bit of hay that we were left as a snack.
I expect once you became a gladiator, I'm assuming a top tier attainment, they treated you a bit better?
Oh, you wish. I wish. Oh, no. Quite honestly, the only way I was able to survive is partaking in a snack after the fight.
What do you have to snack on?
The corpses of my brothers and sisters.
That's a new one.
I've heard of cannibalism before in desperate situations. It's not entirely unheard of.
I was
No.
forced to slay my own family, and the only way I was able to have enough sustenance to get through the rest of the day, or even the week or month, was to eat carcasses. And you wonder why I don't like the frost giants.
Oh no, I figured out that you didn't like them because frost giants are just inherently big assholes to begin with, but you have plenty of reason for it. I've only met 2 frost giants and they tried to kill me.
Those damn blue meanies.
Now, Korg, you told us that you managed to get out to this cursed adornment you are wearing. How did you go about meeting the shaman?
Oh, she patched me up after every fight. She was essentially the medic for anyone around the vicinity of the king's domain.
Or after you escaped, where did you go? What did you end up doing?
Well, for a while, I ended up living around in the mountains and the nearby forests at the base of the mountain. Essentially just hunting for sport and for sustenance, survival. But eventually, I made my way across the nearby river, and it led me towards a nearby village. Quite a large town, actually. I'm surprised. I never knew it was there. I never seen the outside.
And I assume there wasn't frost giants living in that village.
Oh, no. Mostly humans. Weird, fleshy sacks of disgusting abominations. I don't like humans. They're tall. I don't like it. Regardless of my own personal viewpoints. They were quite nice until they weren't. One guy goes missing. Uh-oh, a big fuss is thrown. The finger comes to me, and I bite it off, and it was just a big misunderstanding. He pointed it at me. I was threatened.
Understandable. So, tell us a bit about your group. Did you meet them at the town that you escaped to, or how did you go about meeting them?
They were all in, believe it or not, a tavern. Quite cliche place, I know. You always meet people in a tavern. I don't understand the stigma, but we met in a tavern. There was, let's see. Oh, Lord. There was Eldain, the paladin, and his wife, Ariel. They were both celestials. I didn't really like their holy being. Let's see. There was also a gnome who was actually shorter than me. I enjoyed that. He was an illusionist wizard. He was only around for a short while, and he eventually disappeared. We had a ranger for a moment. I don't remember what he was, as in race. But he disappeared around the same time as that little gnome. Oh yes, I forgot. Remo. He was a dark elf, a drow. He was quite the nice rogue, actually. Until, well, he wasn't.
He wasn't nice, or he was no longer a rogue?
Oh, he was dead. He was no longer anything but a corpse.
Ah, so you've had your share of adventures.
Well, see, I would say that. It's like that's what I would say if I knew what happened. Essentially, the little fuck buddy of Grazit, one of the Dark Lords of the Abyss, king of pleasures and carnal desires, also quite a nymphomaniac, really. His little fuck buddy, I can't remember her name. We just called her the witch bitch. She took away Remo, and we never saw him again. He was laughing on his ass. Tasha's hideous laughter. Quite the mean spell. And then she just snatched him and left. We eventually met his brother shortly after that. His name was Alchu. The first time he told us that, I said, bless you. I felt like an asshole until I did it because it was really funny. Joined up with us after hearing the news.
Oh, Remo's brother?
Yes.
It seemed like your group had quite high casualty rates.
Oh, definitely. Let's see, because Remo was snatched, 2 disappeared. I think we had another one that came in for a moment, and then he disappeared shortly thereafter. Let's see. Oh, yes! I forgot about that. The half-orc. We had a half-orc. I can't remember his name. I think it was like Grug or some orc name. I don't know where he went. I can't remember. He might have died, actually. It was around the time we had found the nearby monastery on the outskirts of the town. Essentially, it was this run-down monastery of some religious orientation. We're not really sure what still. We ended up searching around it, and the place was ransacked. It was pitiful. The worst thing imaginable was that we had to go up against 2, I think it was blue or red slugs. Like those big frog creatures, the abominations. They're not very nice people. They're not even people, they're frogs.
I believe they're more closely related to salamanders, but I may be misremembering.
Salamander, schmalamander, potato.
They're still horrible creatures.
Oh, definitely. I fucking hate them. Oh, yes. How could I have forgotten? The fountain, the spring. After exploring the monastery for a while, we had found this garden, this sort of plaza, quite detached from the appearance that we had been used to. Decrepit. Basically falling apart. Nothing really quite sturdy enough to be considered remotely safe. But this little piece of heaven was just in the middle of everything. It was a nice little garden with a fountain in the middle. And so you know what I did? I took a bath.
You got the resources, might as well.
And then I drank it.
That's a little off-putting. Were you that thirsty?
After I drank the water, I was quite thirsty. It felt like my fortitude had grown somewhat. And after mentioning it, quite a few others of the group started drinking it. And they had similar effects. They all started feeling different, stronger even. And ever since then, we had deemed it the booty water. It was almost a magical concoction, as if the fountain itself had gained properties from my sheer filth.
That is concerning, but interesting nonetheless.
We still have some. You want it?
I think I'll pass. I've already got enough strength of sorts.
Suit yourself.
I have a couple of questions. Do you know how many people you've killed on your adventures?
You're funny. You're a funny little thing. I'd say upwards in the 200s.
200s. Ah, quite a spectacular number. Another question is, how many people have you slept with?
That is not information I'm willing to disclose. I will say it's more than one.
At a time, or?
That is for me to know and for you to find out. Now shut your mouth and get on all fours, and we will continue.
Jesus Christ. All right, Korg, we had a few other questions for you. Tell us a bit about your party. So you met in a tavern. You've had about, what, 6, 7 different, I'm going to go with coworkers. Tell me, why did you all decide to party up?
Well, mostly it was the shared interest in adventure. You know how every town you go to, there's the tavern. And within that tavern, in the corner, sitting all by himself, is that one loony man, the old geezer, who somehow knows everything there is to know of the surrounding area. You know that type?
Yeah, I think they come with the tavern.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We had one. He was the one to share the information of the monastery. And that was the first real quest we went on together. Before that, it was just me, Eldane, and I think it was a Warforged. That's right, a Warforged. And how could I forget? Atreus, the Tiefling. He was a Warlock, Hexblade even. I forgot about him. My gods. I haven't seen him in ages. One day he just left. I don't know where he went. But the first day I'd found these fellas, we went to a nearby island after we stole a boat and strapped the owner of it to the bottom of the boat and let him drown. Almost. He didn't die, actually. He survived. We paid him off to stay silent.
What?
But anyway, that's besides the point. We rowed to a nearby island off the shore. And, mind you, on this little island in the lake, there was bees.
Bees?
And when I say bees, I mean I cannot stretch my arms enough.
Well, you are kind of
Bees.
small.
I will hurt you.
You mean
I might like it.
Well, you learn something
See-
new every day.
Now you're cooking with portals.
But you said bees. You mean those small creatures that buzz around and sometimes sting you?
Oh, no. Like I said, I cannot stretch my arms out enough to mimic the sheer girth of these behemoths. I mean, when I say bees, I mean bees. They were the size of at least almost a house.
So we're talking capital, not lowercase.
Oh, capital B-E-S. Bees.
Oh my.
These bees, they were hostile to you? I
Oh,
see.
very. They were quite aggressive, little assholes.
How'd you go about resolving them?
Oh, we punched the shit out of them. Well, I did. Me and literally, it was only the four of us. We curb stomped these bees. Except one. There was one left.
You always leave one survivor to tell the stories.
Oh no. Not to survive, not to share our expeditions, the gruesome details. To ride.
So you enslaved the last one of their species.
Oh yes. Until we didn't.
Meaning,
My dear friend, Atreus, he hopped aboard this bee, and it immediately went careening into the ground and died. Its face got fucking smashed.
And what do you go to that island for?
We heard there was some treasure. We found bees. But the true treasure was the friends we made along the way.
how come you brought the owner of the boat with you?
It was funny. Oh no, you can't have my boat, even if you pay me. Oh, boo-hoo. We need it more than you. We're here to find treasure and apparently kill bees.
Speaking of giant bees, that makes me think, are there any conspiracy theories that you've heard of that you believe in?
There is... It's not really even a theory. It's a conspiracy that's quite real. Don't
You
tell
have?
my friends about this, mind you. This is between us. Grazit, the demon lord, seeks to actually lead an assault. A full frontal army of demons onto the material plane. Apparently, he is at war with Loth over some territory within the Abyss. And he seeks to use the material plane as his bargaining chip.
How did you learn about this?
Eldane, our paladin, his wife Ariel, they both seek revenge against him. He burned down the temple at which they worshipped and stayed, and they were the only survivors. They were essentially wanted dead or alive for their crimes, even though they were crimes they never committed. Grazit's own pawns committed the crime and left Eldain and Ariel as the only survivors to sort of get the heat off of them.
You mentioned that Grazit was at war with Loth. Two drow figures in your group, Remo and Altru, were they servants of Loth?
Oh no. You see, Altru never came in until after Remo was already gone, unfortunately. He was a little bit too late. While Remo was with us, he was a disciple of the Raven Queen, in particular. Loth, he had somewhat a connection to, but nothing in the sense of, allegiance or worship. The only thing we had going was that Eldain was on a warpath. He was on a revenge quest. And he was willing to essentially take anything and everything that stood in his way out. Quite the lawful good paladin, I know.
Well, laws are what you make of them, I suppose.
But then again, I can't really consider it good. Regardless, after catching wind of Grazit and his power, I will admit I did a little negotiating.
With Grazit?
Yes. Eldain was seeking a holy mace, a weapon of sheer power that could kill Grazit, a demon lord of the abyss. And so, catching wind of it, I thought I could use Grazit as a little plaything. I could use his own power as my own. So, I took a part of the mace. We sought two pieces, the head and the handle, and they had been split to prevent anyone from using its full power for, evil intent. So I took the head of the mace and I shipped it off to Grazit. I summoned Grazit to my presence with the mark I had upon my arm. He had branded me. And he took the head.
You decided to assist Grazit.
Yes, I mean, if I am going to finally kill the frost giants that had enslaved my family for so long, I needed power.
It just seems a little bit counterintuitive that you would seek to assist the demonic invasion.
If I am able to get my revenge, I am satisfied. The lives of others come second.
How's that going, by the way?
Currently, we are marching upon the mountain in which the frost giants reside in their little castle of ice. And only within a few days shall I get my revenge.
Intriguing. Out of curiosity, how do you fight? You fight barehanded? Any knucklers or anything?
Well, primarily, I use these, what I call Dragon Fang gauntlets. Essentially, we managed to kill a young red dragon. And I took the claws and the scales from its corpse. And I used it to make these gauntlets, which essentially can shred through any opponent and singe their flesh. And I intend to burn the frost giants to ash. And I intend to rip into their corpses and take the sheer amount of flesh I had to take from my own family from them. And I shall feast upon it quite nicely.
You wouldn't happen to remember the name of this red dragon?
No. He was kept in captivity.
So you murdered a slave?
Yes. I have no concern for the well-being of monsters. I intend to get what I want, and I shall get it by any means.
Well, sounds like you're fun at parties.
Oh, definitely.
Speaking of fun, what is your favorite drink? And have you heard of this drink called shaken milk? Sorry, the commoners call it milkshakes.
See, I'm more a fan of what people call the Bill Cosby. It's so strong, it can even knock the biggest of ogres out.
What about you?
I mean, I'm a fan of it. It's been quite useful numerous times.
I see. All right, so, Korg, I believe that's all the time we are going to have for today. Thank you for joining us. I might ask for your card. I hope you do have a good rest of your sleep, unless anyone has any other questions.
Wait, am I actually asleep?
This is the realm of dreams and memories.
This is going to be a quite strange story to tell. Dane probably will think I'm crazy again. I'm not crazy. Why would anyone think that? Come on.
I have one last question. The mace that you mentioned that could kill a demon lord, did you know what happened to the handle of it?
Apparently, it's guarded by an elder ice dragon, I believe. Yeah, I know it's an ice dragon. I can't remember if it's an adult or an ancient one. I'm not sure. Apparently, it somehow got mixed in with its horde, and now that is currently our quest. As soon as I get my revenge, we seek to kill the dragon and take its loot, along with the handle, which I'm not very, concerned about. The handle can only do so much. The head is gone. So, Grazit has it in his possession.
Well, Korg, I hope you have good sleep. Hope you wake up fine, and until next time, have a good one. We just want to give a giant thank you to Stereo Radio VA for interviewing with us and for our intro, Sage Sounds for the intro music, Azio Mecha for the amazing character art, and Azio for our awesome logo. We deeply appreciate what you guys have done for us and putting up with all of our requests and changes. We couldn't have done it without you. Links to their items are listed in the description down below, and to you, our viewers, for listening to the end and enjoying our stories. We'll be back next Saturday with another interview. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to list them below, and we will do our best to answer them at the end of the next interview. Until then, have a good awakening.